My biggest regret with having a YouTube channel is honestly that I just haven't been personable enough on here. I regret not taking a moment to talk a little bit more about myself and honestly just be more social. So I want to change that. I want to be more personable and allow anyone who's following this channel to honestly just get to know me better and hopefully understand more about me. And the reason I want to do that is really because I found that any YouTube channel that I personally subscribe to and watch on a regular basis, it's not always because I keep returning to that YouTube channel's content and I find that the content's interesting, but it's a lot of times I find that the host is interesting. And in some sort of way, there's some sort of connection I feel like I have with them. And that's a lot of times because that person's shared a little bit more about who they are as a person. They've talked a little bit more about their personal likes or dislikes. And honestly, I think you can make that argument for any kind of social media you get into, right? You end up liking or following a creator based on not only what that person's kind of putting out for content, but because you feel like you've had some sort of personal connection with that creator in some sort of way. Maybe it's the style of clothing they have, maybe it's their brand of humor, maybe it's just the way they talk on camera. But in some sort of way, you feel like you've got a connection with them every time that you follow them online, even though you've never met. So going forward, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a little bit more personable on here and share more about who I am as a person, while of course still talking a little bit more about my personal journey and traveling full time. And I'll always share tips and tricks about nomad living. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share with you some of the updates that have been going on with my personal life. For starters, I just had a birthday, October 8th. It was just a few days ago. I am now 47 years old. And it is just wild as hell to think that I am almost 50. And I get it. I do not look 50. I don't look 47. Hell, I don't look 40. Some people say I still look in my late 20s, which is fine by me. I tell everybody I have that Benjamin Button disease.
You were born in 1918, 49 years ago.
But I am starting to get a little bit of gray hair, I think. Can you see it? It's somewhere up there. And I honestly can't help but ask myself if I'm going through some sort of midlife crisis or something, because all I think about every single day is just how I can get back to living in my car and traveling around the country again. I feel like I'm doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing at my age. I've been back living in a city for just under a year now, and I absolutely hate it. It's loud, it's hectic, there are people everywhere. Every single day I hear sirens. I hear police sirens, ambulance sirens, fire trucks. It's just loud all the time, everywhere I go. All I can hear is motorcycles in the distance. I miss the days of complete solitude, camped out in the middle of the desert somewhere, or finding that epic camp spot to stay out for a few days and not having a single soul around me. It was just absolutely beautiful. I really miss that. I mean, I damn near slept in a new place every single night for a year, so there's a ton of places that I honestly just forget about. I've literally sold everything that I personally own in my storage unit. I don't have a bed anymore. I don't have furniture anymore. I don't have a TV anymore. All I have are the things I need to survive on the road. All I have are the things that will go with me remotely, and that's not much. I have a small corner of a bedroom where I'm currently staying at, and that just has some clothes in it, a computer for me to work on, some camera gear, some shoes, and I think that's literally about it. Loud. Truck camper. So I've had a couple people kind of ask me what was going on with the truck camper that I did a video all about as far as my future travel plans go. And while I think I'm going to do a full video on the truck camper that I'm looking at for the future and kind of my future travel plans, but the short answer for this video is finances. I am just not in a really good financial place to be taking on truck camper payments and truck payments. These truck campers I'm looking at are $25,000 to $30,000 depending on what you put in it. And I still got to get the truck to carry it in, and that's also not that cheap. So like I said, right now the short answer is just finances. After traveling for a year and not really making money for a year and a half, because I wasn't working that entire time, I'm just not getting back into a place where I'm actually able to offset my cost of living and starting to put a little bit more money back in my pocket. So for right now, I'm just not in the right place in my life to take on payments for a truck and a truck camper, but I'll go into full detail in a later video all about that. I do still plan on traveling again though, and I've put a date on when I want to get back on the road. I think spring of 2024 is a really good deadline for me. It is currently October of 2023, and I'm down in Florida visiting some friends and family. And I just don't think it makes a lot of sense for me to leave Florida as fall and winter approaches and get back on the open road and going north into states that get really, really cold. That seems stupid. So I'm gonna take the easy way out, and I think I'm gonna stay south for the winter. Literally every single move I make nowadays is a move that I think about, how will this affect me in my future travels? How will this get me back on the road? How will this be something I can sustain in the long form while I travel long term back on the open road? For starters, I found remote work. This is a job that will allow me to keep working from anywhere, so I can actually sustain living on the road this time versus living on the road last year and not working at all, not making any money. This time I'll actually be making money. That's the plan, at least. And I just bought some things that will allow me to live on the road full time. So I'll elaborate a little bit more on that in the future as well. I have decided to shut down my travel agency business. If you didn't know that I had a travel agency business, I did. I started the travel agency right after I got back from traveling for a year. I started the travel agency because I thought it would be a legit job that I could do remotely, and I thought it would be a business that I could grow into. It was my own business, so I could be my own boss, I could work my own hours, and I thought, hey, what better thing to do than to sell travel full-time than from someone who just got done traveling the country full-time for a year. So, it kind of all lined up, but in the end, I really found out that it wasn't so much of a passion project as much as I thought it would be. It honestly didn't bring me as much happiness doing that business as much as I thought it would be. I am really more of a creative type, and having a travel agency really didn't allow me to be very creative with it at all. It's a very facts and figures kind of based job. That's honestly one of the main reasons I still keep the YouTube channel going, is because even though I make very little money with this, it gives me this creative outlet that I just absolutely crave. You know, for the past several years, I've been wanting to start my own business. I just didn't know what I wanted to start. So it just kind of lined up with getting back from traveling. I thought it just kind of made sense at that time in my life. But something I definitely did not think about with having your own business is how hard marketing is. It's very, very hard to get a good marketing strategy together and get your name out there so that people can find you and so that you can book business. It's very difficult. And so in the end, not only was the travel agency not really that fulfilling for me, but also I just wasn't getting clients. And so it literally was costing me more per month to keep it running than I was making in return. So I found a new job. I am now doing video editing full time. And the funny thing about doing video editing full time as a job is that obviously I've been doing video editing for quite some time now, having a YouTube channel, but I guess I just always looked at video editing as more of a hobby versus a career. But the more I started doing video editing a little bit more, the more I started to realize that, you know what? I just really love video editing. I have fun with it. It's that creative outlet that I need. And the more I taught myself with Final Cut Pro, which is the software I started using about a year and a half ago or so, the more I started getting more comfortable with it. And the more I started realizing that, you know what? Maybe I could do this as a job. So now, outside of YouTube, I have a full-time job, video editing. See? Sirens. Hear them? So that's kind of really what's been going on with me. Most of this year, I've spent really just kind of focused on building a steady revenue stream. I mean, it sounds real glamorous to quit your job and travel the country for a year, and it is. However, the reality is that you need money to survive. Like I said, everything I've been doing has really just been a focus on what can get me back out on the open road, what kind of work can I find that'll allow me to work remotely, what will allow me to sustain a full-time travel lifestyle again. You know, nothing would bring me more joy than to do YouTube full-time and have this be my only paycheck. But unfortunately, I'm nowhere close to there. I make a little bit of money on YouTube, but trust me, it is not enough to live off of. But oh my God, if I could be a full-time YouTuber and just travel the country and just bring my camera along for the ride and show you guys some of the places I've been and give you tips and tricks along the way for nomad living as well. I mean, oh my God, that's the dream right there. All right, so in the interest of getting to know me better and share with you more about who I really am, I thought I would do a rapid fire getting to know me section. So here are just a bunch of random facts about me. My favorite color is blue. I can't whistle. I'm my happiest when I'm being creative. I actually wanted to be a cartoonist when I was a kid. I DJ for fun, although I never get to do it. I like to think the glass is half full. I'm a Libra, and the scales of justice accurately describe me. I balance everything in my life. Oh, sunset's kind of nice. I think laughter is the best way to add years back to your life. And I often wish I would have gotten into creative writing when I was in college and gotten into sketch comedy. I actually have a bunch of ideas in my head of some really stupid sketch comedy. And I started another YouTube channel several years ago that allowed me to make some of these. They're not funny, you won't laugh, but I'll share the link right here if you'd like to check it out. My go-to genres for music are hard rock and techno. But I can honestly listen to just about anything, and it really just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Tool, Pucifer, Goose, Five Finger Death Punch, Straight from the Path, Lotus, Camp, Pink Floyd, Asking Alexandria, all sorts of classic rock bands, Adam Beyer, Carl Cox, James Hype, Rewire, Charlotte DeWitt, and Deborah DeLuca are some of my favorite artists. My first concert ever was Metallica, the Black Album. I saw them for $22. One of the last concerts I ever went to was Roger Waters from Pink Floyd for $230. In my spare time, I honestly just watch a lot of YouTube. I either watch it for product research, like right before I'm about to buy something, or I watch a lot of it on just how to grow a YouTube channel. And then there's a lot of times I turn it on just for pure entertainment. And last but not least, my biggest regret is that I just didn't do this in the beginning. That I didn't just get out in front of the camera and just talking more about myself and sharing information like this. When I first started this channel all about me traveling around the country, I had absolutely no idea what direction to take this channel in. I had absolutely no idea what kind of content to make. So I just started making content of the stuff I was watching at the time. People like Craig Adams and a bunch of other silent camping videos. That's the stuff I was watching. So that's the stuff I ended up making in the beginning. It was really just videos with music set to it. And I learned the hard way that honestly, that's not how you grow a YouTube channel. That's not what connects to the audience of the people who watch you. I honestly believe that no one would ever be interested in hearing me talk, but I've learned that it's called the social network for a reason. That it's the social network aspect of YouTube that allows me to connect with everyone out there and allows me to share more about who I am. I absolutely love it when I get comments from you guys, so please keep it up. Ask me anything you'd like, and I try to respond to everyone I can. So let me know if you like this approach. I think I'm gonna do more of these. If you didn't like it, then I guess still let me know, because hey, creative feedback is still feedback, and I should know what works and what doesn't, shouldn't I? But I do like sharing more about myself, and I hope you like hearing about it. So until next time, thanks for escaping normal life with me. A very special super thanks goes out to CML Dallas, Frank G, and Emily Moratea. Thank you so much for leaving me a super thanks. I really super appreciate it.